out drinking one night with my buddy Ethan, and we've been friends since like third grade. And we got blasted. We stumbled back to my place and passed out in my bed, lying side by side. And he never woke up. He just never woke up. They said it was alcohol poisoning, but apparently he had hepatitis too, so I don't know. He had started this whole heroin thing, but anyway.
Maybe. Well, there's something. He didn't look dead, you know? Like, even at the funeral with the entire school there, he just didn't look dead. It's like at any moment he was going to pop up and tell me I was being a pussy for buying into this whole mourning and wearing black thing. I just wanted to get high. I felt like that's what he would have wanted. Not all this sober eulogying bullshit, you know. But my parents. Yeah, that was crappy. I had to pretend to be this guy who was like really concerned, but that's not the right word. But I had to be this like adult or something. Why? You know? I can't just magically stop. Ethan fucking never woke up, but it doesn't magically turn me into somebody who doesn't like to smoke or drink or get high or whatever. I resent that shit. And this so-called wake-up call, what the fuck is that? Ethan lucked out. When they put him in the ground, I knew he'd gotten away with it. He never had to grow up.
Are you kidding me? Please. You can stop crying about what we want, Brian. You're not interested in what we want. The only thing you've been interested in is what you can get. It is always the same thing with you. We say no, and you say yes. I'm buying you this drink whether you like it or not, and now I own you. The world is so simple, isn't it? You get your way, and if you don't, it's only because we haven't behaved. We're breaking the rules somehow. If you cannot control us, it's only because we keep on fucking up, and that gives you the right to do whatever you want. We say no, and you say yes, and that's rape from start to finish, and we are not the ones who invented it.
You know what, Kayleen? Jesus Christ, you know what? I came by your place last year. And your father was there. And I know he hates my guts. He always has, and he's like, the girl is where she is. I don't know where the girl is. Said he didn't care and didn't care to know. And I was just about to leave. But I didn't. And I said to that son of a bitch, you remember, asshole? You, that piece of shit. You remember what I said to you? I said to him, you're fucking worthless. You have a daughter, and she's a gift from God. She is the most perfect being to ever walk this earth. And you don't even care to notice. Worst part, she loves you just because you're her stupid father. But you've never loved her back. You just damaged her and fucked her up. So yeah, Fuck you, cocksucker. And then I told him I hoped he'd die alone, which he did. So I kind of feel guilty about that. But I can take care of you, Lini.
I don't think people see me. I get this feeling sometimes like I'm invisible or something. I could be standing there in a room and I'm talking and everything, and it's like my words aren't getting anywhere, and I look down at myself, and Jesus, sometimes my body isn't getting anywhere either. It's like I'm standing behind a one-way mirror, and I can see the guys and I can hear the guys, but they can't see me and they can't hear me. And I start to wonder if maybe I'm ugly or something, like maybe I'm some alien species from another planet and I don't speak the language and I look totally weird. But I don't know this, you see, because on this other planet I had this really nice mother who told me I was beautiful and I had a voice to die for because she loved me so much, not because it was true. And I arrive here on earth and I'm so filled with her love and her belief in me that I walk around like I'm beautiful and I sing like I have a voice to die for. And because I'm so convinced and so strange and so deluded, people pretend to listen to me because they're being polite or something, or maybe they're afraid of me. And at first, I don't notice this because I sing with my eyes closed. But then one day, I open my eyes and I find out I'm living in a world where nobody sees me and nobody hears me. I'm just looking for that one guy who's gonna hear me, see me, really take a chance. I mean, I hear them. I'm listening so hard. I hear promises when somebody's just saying hello. Jesus! Ugh. If anybody heard what I've got locked up inside of me, I'd be a star.
My cat died last week. 37 years old and died falling off the counter. She was dead before she hit the floor, I suspect. On top of that, yesterday I noticed there was a tear in my couch. I should probably get some thread and stitch that up. You know what they say, stitch in time, something about stitches. But it can be applied universally to all fastenings of things, like zip it up now or you'll be cold later, or take antibiotics now or before you give it to someone else, or go to rehab now before you overdose on cough syrup or PCP or whatever. Or take care of your mama. My mom's doing pretty okay. In fact, I was having a pretty good day if I wasn't thinking about the cat or the couch, but then shotgun shot me in the foot. I'll probably get gangrene or something. I was hoping the burlesque show might cheer me up. Hey, what are you guys doing?
I keep things in. Emotions, my emotions. I know that that's probably not a good thing, but life has just made me that way, I guess. You see, I have a tendency to show no emotion when I am feeling emotion. I just have a hard time with that, opening up to someone. You know, I get closed off. I feel that by being emotional in front of someone, it makes you very vulnerable and weak, and I have a hard time with that. You know, being in a place of vulnerability, it's not a place where I like to be because I feel like I'm not in control, and when I'm not in control, I get anxiety and whenever I have truly loved anybody and opened myself up to them, they have always stabbed me in the back. And so I have a hard time with that, you know, trusting people. It can be anyone, friends, family, boyfriend. You know, I don't think I truly trust anyone in my life. It's sort of a protective shield that I've put up, and it only gets stronger with time. And I do desire to be more vulnerable, but, you know, at the same time, I desire to be protected. I feel torn. Every time I take a risk, I get hurt. I'm not sure if I should keep taking those risks.
So this guy is pouring me champagne, right? And the fire's going, and he's got like, his place is unfucking believable. We're talking Oriental rugs, antique armchairs. He's even got a fucking Picasso on the wall. I'm not kidding. I mean, I don't consider myself a materialistic person or anything like that, but at some point you just can't help being affected. You know what I mean? And we're sitting on this overstuffed Ottoman love seat, fur futon thing, and his foot is sort of sliding up underneath my butt and moving down my leg, and I'm going, my God, and my brain cells are about to blow out my ears. My arms have already gone limp at this point. But then, from this great distance, I hear someone say, "Oh wow, this is a great movie." And I go, "Excuse me? My electrodes are turning to butter, and he's got the TV on. They're showing Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And this guy is suddenly transfixed, catatonic. I mean, I'm going, hello, hello.
I've never been this close to complete breakdown. I need to leave. Can I leave? All this mania, all this dread. Is this a panic attack? I've never experienced sexual disgust like this before. Give me a time machine. I want my innocence back. He's too short. He's tall in a creepy way. I don't like his neck to chest ratio. He looks unwell. The way he licks his lips. When I think about him and I close my eyes, I see a skeleton, like a bottle of poison, his bones jutting off in all directions. He looks like a junkie. He's a dumb jock. He sounds like a pirate blackmailing me. I don't want to breathe the same air as him. His mouth, his tongue. There's probably food stuck in his teeth. Little tiny bits of every single thing he eats. I can't believe I let him put his lips on my lips. His body on my body. His hands on my hands. On her hands. Did I just walk through a spider web? I feel like there's something crawling on. There's something in my hair, on my neck, and my ears are. These woods are so I'm lost. I'm lost. It's just a thicket. No, it's just the backyard. You know these bushes, these hedges are well maintained, practically topiaries. Just stay on the path. I just need to find a nice, warm, comfortable place to vomit up everything I've ever eaten. Then everything will be okay. No, it's not. Everything will not be okay. The man is completely out of control. He's going to kill me. He's a killer. These are the kinds of people who commit murder. These are the kinds of situations when someone gets killed. Killed? Well, if it's going to be someone, it should be him. Because I've got a lot more life to live. So what if yes, would it be so wrong? A hunting accident. Something sad and regrettable.
The observation hits me heavily like a 45 magnum smashing through my skull. My stomach does backflips. The art I'm about to face is the most chilling, grisling experience ever known to a woman. Dating. I'm gonna have to start dating again. God, please don't make me do it. I'll promise I'll be good from now on. I'll be thoughtful, kindful, sober. I'll even stop feeling the dog hashish. But please, God, oh my God, not the ultimate torture of dating. That's why I stayed with him for so long. Sure, he was a little wild, but I kept telling myself, at least I'm getting laid tonight. And tomorrow night, and I'll have someone to go to the movies with me and try not to hold my hand. Hand holding, the worst thing about dating. The fellow or even I would decide that holding hands is a sweet and nice way to start. It's the most nerve-wracking thing in the world. Once I start holding hands, I cannot stop. If I take my hand off, will he think I'm being cold or moody? Should I squeeze his hands and wiggle my fingers around? Or is that too forward? What if we are in the movies, holding hands, and I have to scratch my nose? And what would I even talk about on a date? Do you think we're gonna have sex tonight? Are you the type of guy that cannot make a commitment or only can make a commitment to a girl with really strong, hot eyes? Do you like me? How much do you like me? Have you ever dated any junkies? What kind of relationship do you have with your mother? Is my deodorant working? You're not going out with me only because you feel sorry for me. Are you?
Dark. Is that a professional opinion? Wow. You want to know dark, John? Let me explain it to you. As a kid, I grew up with my grandparents. And around 5, 6 years old, my grandfather got sick. Doctor said bronchitis. My grandmother gave him some medicine, but he still had this hacking cough. That's not even it. This cough was like the scraping of your insides. My grandfather would just lay in bed screaming between coughs that there was some goddamn hairspray in his throat. He was convinced that someone in the house was filling his room with hairspray every time he fell asleep. Well, for the first week, my grandmother, my 2 aunts who live with us, they wouldn't go anywhere near hairspray or any kind of spray out of concern. But 2 weeks later, my grandfather's still coughing and coughing and telling them he can't even breathe. But what are they gonna do, right? Now use spray bottles to clean the house? Let their hair go to shit? No. So 2 weeks later, they're spraying it on thick, telling him to shut up, it's all in your mind. So that's it. All that pain is in his mind. His whole lower face is covered with drool and phlegm because he's tired of wiping it off. His body's slick with sweat. His stomach is distorted. You know the muscles from contracting and contracting night and day? They're just bulging out of this emaciated body. And he's screaming fucking bloody murder. The hairspray! The hairspray! But the pain's in his mind, right? So they just ignore him. When I found him, the doctor said he's been dead for 2 days. Suffocated on a combination of phlegm and vomit. It could have been the paint on the walls, or they denied him his suffering and dignity in death because they couldn't understand the pain, John. They couldn't see it. They couldn't feel it. So they just convinced themselves it wasn't there at all. So thank you, John. Thank you so much for shedding a whole new light on this little family tragedy.
You said you wanted cigarettes. You were going to look for a store, a bar. I wanted to go with you, but you said no. I had to wait there, wait for you. You'll be 5 minutes. And you touched me. You kissed me between my legs, your tongue, both of my breasts. You'll be back in no time. I lay on the bed, and I listened to your footsteps going down the stairs. I wrapped the sheet around me and went over to the window because I wanted chocolate. Tried to open it, whatever I ate then, candy. Shout to you, chocolate. But the window wouldn't open. I fell asleep and when I woke up, I didn't know the time. I was sore between my legs, but I felt wonderful. He hadn't come back yet, but I was so happy. My man would be back soon, and he would have chocolate for me. And I didn't need to tell him what I wanted. You knew, and you'd bring it to me. But you still didn't come. The room was cold. I could hear talking downstairs, not clearly, but voices. I got dressed, and I walked down the stairs. The voices were from a TV coming from a room. The voices were a TV. I opened the front door and went out. And I walked into the center of town. You were nowhere. It was late. A store was open, lights. I asked inside if a man had bought some cigarettes. He told me to get out. He thought I was buying cigarettes. I tried to describe you, but he didn't listen. Then a store but I couldn't get in. I had to, all my courage, wait until two men walked in, followed behind them, and looked for you, walking around the bar. Men laughing, men staring at me, men making jokes. What was I looking for? You lost honey. I said, my dad.
You don't get it. I've been afraid of my father all my life. I spent every waking moment trying to keep him from exploding. My first memory is the day my brother spilled a can of paint out the stairs. Yeah, apparently it was too heavy for him. Parents was painting a house. And I held my breath. I don't know why I thought that would help. And my father, he put the wrists through the wall. I screamed. Ricky and I started crying. And the whole time that he kept yelling at us to stop crying, I couldn't. I thought he was going to kill us both, and my mother couldn't stop him. I was 4 years old. Ricky was 2. And I've been living in the hole in the wall ever since. I can't forgive him. I won't pretend. So go read The Footprints in the Sand if it will make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Today my father is going in the ground, except I don't remember having a father. A father could never do that to his children.